A woman need not be stronger today. She was strong before too. The only thing that needs to change today is the world's perception of a woman's strength. Hello everyone, welcome back to SSBCrack exams. I wish all the women out there a very happy Women's Day. On this occasion of the International Women's Day, let us look into this particular session about the important and the most inspiring all-women fighter pilots of the Indian Air Force. This particular session is dedicated to all the girls out there who want to be the fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force of the country. But before we begin today's session, let me also tell you about SSB Interview online course that we have launched and that you can get a hold of by downloading our SSB Crack Exams app from the Google Play Store. In this particular course, you will find the SSB interview being covered from day 1 to day 5 of it with all the lectures and the study materials that have been provided for your preparation and practice. Not only that, you can also get a chance to be a part of our interactive live classes which take place regularly and in monthly basis. So let's start with the session now, and we will first look into the induction of the women fighter pilots into Indian Air Force, which has been made into permanent. The Defense Ministry has decided to convert the experimental scheme for induction of women fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force into a permanent scheme in the year 2022. The decision is a testimony to the capability of India's Nari Shakti or women power. So let's start with the first fighter pilot, and that is Flying Officer Mavia Sudan. She is the first ever fighter pilot from Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district and 12th woman officer in the country to be inducted as a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force. Her father Vinod Sharma, who is a JE in SMVD Shrine Board, told the Excelsior that since her school days, Mavia was inclined towards the Air Force and always wanted to become a fighter pilot. The next fighter pilot we're going to talk about is Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh, who's the first woman fighter pilot to join the Golden Arrows Rafale Squadron of the Indian Air Force. Hailing from Varanasi, UP, she is a MiG-21 fighter pilot who also worked alongside Wing Commander Abhinandan. The next one is Flight Lieutenant Pratibha Punia. She is the second woman fighter pilot from Rajasthan to be a part of the Indian Air Force. Hailing from Rajgarh, Rajasthan and from a defense background, she had trained on Hawk aircraft at Bidar Air Force Station along with Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh and has been a Su-30 MKI pilot. The next woman pilot we are going to talk about here is Flying Officer Antara Mehta, who is the first woman fighter pilot from Nagpur and Maharashtra and the 10th woman fighter pilot in India who passed out in the year 2020. She is an engineer and national level basketball player who had also harbored the dream of joining the Indian Air Force ever since she was a child. Next we come to the Flying Officer Arthi Tomar. Following the feat of Avni Chaturvedi, Bhavna Kant and other women fighter pilots, Arthi Tomar becomes the 9th women fighter pilot who graduated in the year 2019. Arthi says, in 2016 when I read about Avni Chaturvedi, that gave me the inspiration to become a fighter pilot. It is to be noted that Arthi is the only women fighter pilot who graduated the year from the Dundigal Academy. Air Force in itself is fascinating, but the experience of being a fighter pilot and flying an aircraft is something beyond words. Arthi Tomar has learned to fly pilotless aircraft and wishes to learn and fly different aircraft very soon. The next fighter pilot we're going to know about is Flying Officer Nashambo. Flying Officer Nashambo on Saturday inducted into the Indian Air Force as fighter pilot. She was the 6th female fighter pilot of the Indian Air Force. The 24-year-old Meghna, who is hailing from Chikmagalur in Mysore of Karnataka, is also the first fighter pilot from South India and who will be the 6th women fighter pilot to be inducted into the Indian Air Force. All other 5 women fighter pilots who were commissioned earlier in the IF hailed from various states of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. The next fighter pilot is Flight Lieutenant Avni Chaturvedi. She is a recipient of Nari Shakti Puraskar 2020 and the first woman fighter pilot of Indian Air Force to take a solo flight in a MiG-21. Hailing from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh, she was posted in the Indian Air Force number 23 Squadron Panthers in Suratgarh, Rajasthan. The next flight lieutenant is Bhavna Kant, who is also recipient of Nari Shakti Puraskar 2020 and the first woman fighter pilot of Indian Air Force to take a solo flight in a MiG-21 Bison. Hailing from Darbhanga, Bihar, she was posted in Indian Air Force number 3 Squadron Cobras in Ambala, Haryana. The next is also a recipient of Nari Shakti Puraskar 2020, and she is Flight Lieutenant Mohana Singh Jitterwal, who is also the first woman fighter pilot of Indian Air Force to become a fully operational by day on a Hawk Mk-132 advanced jet trainer. Hailing from Agra, Uttar Pradesh in a defense background, she had been trained in both air-to-air and air-to-ground fighting mode. So I hope that this session has been quite inspirational for those of you who are wanted to be in the fighter pilots, who wanted to be the fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force, especially to the women candidates out there. So before I end today's session, let me also show you our SSB interview online course that we have launched for you, and that is available through our SSBCrack exams learning app, which you can download from the Google Play Store and get yourself enrolled into this particular course in order to prepare for your upcoming SSB interview in a much more solid and effective manner. Not only that, if you want to take other defense written exams as well, we have the courses for all the defense exams which you can get only through our app. Last but not the least, please do not forget to use the code Warrior10 to get an extra 10% off on all these courses. So I hope that on this occasion of the International Women's Day, the women candidates out there who have been so long wanted to be in the Indian Air Force and wanted to be a fighter pilot has got the inspiration from this session, seeing so many women who have been having this childhood dream of joining the Indian Air Force as fighter pilots and have been successful. So I wish you all the best, and that I really will be very happy to see you in the fighter pilot uniforms, and who knows, I may feature you in our next session as well. So till then guys, stay tuned to SSB Crack exams and always stay positive and motivated. Jai Hind.